So hi again, my name is Jacques Eistock. I'm the Vice President of Data here at VMware Tanzu, and I'm so glad that you joined us for the fifth of our five-part digital series for Greenplum Summit 2020. Today's theme was AI, neural networks, and the future of analytics, and that future is anywhere where you collect data. Next slide. And maybe that's why Gartner ranks Greenplum as the #1 open source data warehouse in the world, and why we say that Greenplum is the analytics platform for your needs both today and in the future. Part of the reason that we've held this virtual Greenplum Summit was to continue to get that word out to the world. Next slide. In our first session, we talked about Greenplum Your Way, how we optimize Greenplum for true hybrid cloud implementations and deployments. Deploying only in the data center or only in one of the public clouds is not a reality for most organizations. You're going to need data analytics in multiple places, and open source Greenplum is your best and only option to get you there. Next slide. And that's why we created the Greenplum Reference Architecture program. So no matter where you install, you always know the best configuration and the best choice of infrastructure that will give you the best Greenplum experience. We then aim to maximize our use of the infrastructure you've chosen to give you true infrastructure native capabilities. And you heard some of that from Nikhil earlier today on Kubernetes. Next slide. In the next session that we had, we talked about federated analytics, about all of the capabilities that Greenplum offers in terms of getting data no matter where it is. If Greenplum can access it over the network, Greenplum can query it as if it was already ingested and local to the cluster. Next slide. Then we went into data warehouse modernization. Greenplum's MPP database is the perfect tool. Starting from the bottom, deploying everywhere is just the first of our differentiators. Public cloud, private cloud, bare metal. Greenplum's open source capabilities gives us the infrastructure native capabilities that you really need and want. And moving up, we can then query and or ingest data in parallel from any source that is network accessible. Then you can use the massively parallel analytics capabilities, not only in SQL, but also a variety of popular programming languages, and then hook the whole thing up to your chosen reporting and visualization tools. Next slide. In our parallel Postgres session, we talked about how we continue to up-level the base version of Postgres in Greenplum to the most recent versions and put many of them into a cluster on top of any infrastructure, getting them all to coordinate and act as one big Greenplum database, giving you, the user, or you, the operator, the ultimate in scalability and the ultimate in power. Next slide. And finally, today we talked about analytics and machine learning at scale and in parallel with some additional tools like Apache Madlib and others that you have already listened to. Next slide. VMware Tanzu Greenplum gives you the speed, the scale, the openness, and the rich analytics that you need now and you need everywhere. Infrastructure native with federated access to all of your data, regardless of where it is. All of our sessions have been recorded and all will be made available on the VMware Learning Zone. That's vmwarelearningzone.vmware.com. Next slide. And for the past 15 years, Greenplum has been continuously innovating and continuously modernizing. We're staying current with our Postgres base. We're solving analytics at scale on every infrastructure, allowing our users to successfully solve problems wherever they exist. Today, we showed off a little more of its capabilities and power, so you don't have to compromise when it comes to monetizing your most valuable asset, your data. I want to give a special thanks to all of the speakers over the last 10 weeks, as well as the entire supporting cast that helped make this vision a reality. On behalf of VMware Tanzu Greenplum, I'm Jacques Eistock. Thanks for joining this last of our Greenplum Summit sessions. Look for more engagement from us in the near future. Follow us on Twitter and YouTube at the Greenplum handles to keep informed of all of this new content that we continue to create. Stay safe, and I hope to see you soon.